I will get that loop button one day.
One day.
Welcome, everybody, to our final Open Hearts of Season 1, live with the cast of Graffitied Hearts. I have been your Mistress of Ceremonies, Winter, and over the last 12 to 13 weeks almost, we have crafted this beautiful story of love and loyalty, of betrayal and violence. And we have brought it to an exciting and riveting end. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to discuss not only the story that we told over these last 12 to 13 weeks, the characters present in this story, the characters that they interacted with, the motivations and thought processes behind some of the characters' greatest decisions. And I am excited to dive down into those and see what bits of psyche we can pick out from the brains of our illustrious cast. So, where should we start? Let's start first with the last, our finale.
Oh, yeah.
As we usually did after every episode, we talk about what just happened in the episode, and I know we haven't gotten that chance quite yet. So now's our chance. So, that finale, what are some thoughts? How did you feel about it? Where did you hope it would go versus where it went? Let's hear it.
It was amazing, and I really love how for much of this season we've kind of been trying to figure out, okay, who's going to be the central focus, who are we trying to take down? There's several things fundamentally wrong with the city and everything, and when Jen first popped up, they kind of immediately became a slight focal point of a villainous bend. But with Sinead coming part of the cast and Jen taking on even more dimensions than we even thought she had to begin with, that they have to begin with. And the introduction of Zhao as both the mayor, as Jen's master, and as essentially the grand puppeteer of a lot of the things that are going on in Crescent Falls. I think we found our big bad guys. I think we know who we're all gunning after come season 2.
So, I knew going into the main cast as Jen that Zhao was going to be a really big player. And I don't know if Winter had always planned for it to be Zhao, or if that came in tandem with the Jen development and the conversations that we had.
It definitely came from the discussions that we had. I know we were discussing Jen's backstory prior to them entering into the scene. I mean, as a character, as a PC.
Suddenly we had 100 years to fill.
Yeah, we had to figure out where Jen came from and who was their master / better.
Sire.
As it were. Sire. Yeah, there you go. And I had that day been working on a newsletter, like a fake newsletter from Crescent Falls City. And the first thing that popped into my head was this message that I had written in the newsletter from Mayor Zhao. And I was like, that's our sire, is Mayor Zhao, and he comes across as this friendly and servant of the people type mayor, but in reality he is a blood-sucking vampire.
Yeah. I remember your absolute excitement when we were talking about that, of because we needed to make sure that we had it on lock of if Jen goes into their darkest self. Jen, no offense to the rest of the cast, Jen doesn't consider any of the cast more powerful than them. And it's that perception that is important. So who's more powerful than Jen? Their sire. And so we were on a Discord call talking about everything, and you, Winter, were like, boy, howdy, do I have the idea for you. And suddenly your screen was being shared. And I got to see the newsletter as it was being created. And you were like, what do you think of the mayor? And I'm like, say more words, woman.
Actually, that does bring it up, because I never actually quite finished the newsletter. It was kind of an unfinished project that I just never ended up finishing. So I am actually going to share that right now.
Yes.
So everybody can get an idea of what
everyone's getting a taste of some cut content.
Yeah. Just more like unfinished content.
Unfinished, yeah.
All right. Give me one
It's
second.
gorgeous, too. She did great work.
Is
Sure
this
always
what you
does.
showed me, like, way back at the beginning, Winter?
Probably. Because I
Which song?
started writing this before I had even cast everyone. Like, no, it was after we had done our session 0, and we had the city developed. We had our supporting characters and such developed. Here we go. There we go.
Yes, I remember this.
Yes.
Ooh.
So this is the Crescent Falls City Visitor's Guide, with so much to do. So I'll do a quick reading here for people who can't read the very small print. Welcome to Crescent Falls City, the city where wood and steel entwine. CFC is home to some of the greatest feats of human engineering and the foremost natural resource conservation sciences in the United States. This has resulted in the largest collection of man-made and natural attractions in North America. The information in this guide will grant you a treetop-down view of what the city has to offer. This includes our most popular sites as well as a few local favorites. Keep in mind that this guide only scratches the surface. We encourage all visitors to explore Crescent Falls City to find all of the exciting things to do and see that we couldn't fit in these pages. And then you have the message from Mayor Zhao. Welcome, travelers. Whether you are visiting for the first time or a returning visitor to our fair city, we are thrilled to have you here. It has been a great honor to serve the wonderful city of Crescent Falls. Growing up amongst the Crescent Falls lumber mills and their workers taught me a great many life lessons, including the meaning of working and playing hard, as well as what community and family meant. I carried these ideas throughout my life as I took positions on the National Park and Historical Preservation Committees. In these roles, I fought to protect not only the resources vital to our city's economy, but also the culture and identity of the very community in which we lived. As mayor, one of my greatest priorities is providing you, our guests, with the best we have to offer, whether it's dining, entertainment, or sightseeing. In these pages, you will read about a few of our favorite attractions. However, this is only a starting point. I guarantee that you will find something new and interesting around every corner and tree. I hope that you make like a leaf and land here. And then I was going to have like special points of interest, which included more about the Arboreal National Park, the Sacred Knowledge Public Library, where Miss Florence works, cheer on the Howlers at the Wendell Harris Arena, which we never really got to touch on. The Howlers are the local hockey team
with several dead members.
Yes. Get lost in the lights and sounds of the Midnight Mirage.
Oh boy.
We spent a lot of time there.
Yeah. And then I had worked on this one after
Special engagement. Oh no.
Yes, we had.
Oh, no. Oh my god.
Woo!
There's no ring, bitch. Where is it?
Yep.
Oh, don't worry, kitten. It's coming.
Ring.
A
Nowhere.
special engagement. A big reveal has shocked and delighted the city's elite. After a romantic night at one of the city's most exclusive restaurants, it has been announced that young mogul Jen Valentine has proposed to Crescent Falls' own darling, Rosalind Sullivan. And
Never
she
happened.
said yes!
No, I didn't.
A little background.
Excuse me, Joe. I do just want to point out that I took you to a very nice restaurant. I'm gonna need you to choose a little bit more to season with than salt.
Oh!
That's
No,
all you
I'm
get.
liking it. I liking the season. I like it. All right. A little background for our non-local readers. Rosalind Sullivan is the daughter of Franklin Sullivan, CEO of Sullivan Construction Incorporated, which stands as the most successful construction company in the New England region. Miss Rosalind Sullivan has grown up in the spotlight, charming the whole of the city from a young age as the front girl for her father's industrial rise. Conversely, Jen Valentine is also a CSC native. They are recently returned from their Harvard education with controlling interest in a large portfolio of restaurants and other businesses. Mix Valentine has been included on Forbes' most influential 30 under 30, and there are rumors they are being scouted for the cover of Time. Simply put, this is an engagement of epic proportions. The coupling of these two powerhouse families would create a veritable monopoly of celebrity and influence. The combined wealth and power of Sullivan and Valentine would ensure that nothing is out of reach, with the possibility of giving Bezos a run for his billions. Mix Valentine has not yet shared the nuptial details, playing coy when asked for comment. Their fiancé has thus far evaded the press, with Mix Valentine claiming that it is Miss Sullivan's wish to keep their plans private and reserved for only their closest family and friends. Thus, we are left to our imaginations as to the grandeur of the wedding that will ensue. Perhaps we may yet get a glance at into their glamorous world afterward, living vicariously through the wedding photos and video. Regardless, Crescent Falls City wishes congratulations and a blessed life to the happy couple.
This is some amazing fucking
I
writing.
would have
I
bought
get it.
every single one of those and lit them on fire. And possibly eaten the person who wrote it. Because no.
Fair enough.
Question was never asked. There's no ring. I had no idea this was happening. We went on one date. I'm 18.
Yeah, you're legal.
Legal.
30 under 30 my butt. Jeez.
Jen is a
Oh,
powerful
honestly.
person. Also, yeah, no shit, Jen wouldn't consider any of the cast more powerful than them. One, there are 4 30 under 30, and 2, we're high school students.
We are
That is
children.
We are babies in comparison to this
And,
100-year-old vampire bitch. I love you.
well, yes, I mean, okay, so in like the Twilight series, Edward is freaking 100+ year old, and he's still going to freaking high school. However,
It's creepy.
Jen was never meant to be a played character, as they were just supposed to be a tool for Franklin Sullivan to use to control the future of his daughter. So when I created Jen, I imagined someone a little bit older and out of high school and having already made a name for themselves. So when Shanae took on the role, it was we had to figure out how to work Jen into the teen classification, as it were. But yeah, that does kind of bring up a question about. Yes, Kayla, it is very creepy. It is so creepy. But
I think the way that I would equate it for Jen and like why they were in high school, they don't always return to high school. Sure. It's almost its own twisted form of market research.
Okay.
And understanding like, yeah, and every new generation of just like, okay, my way of navigating life is indicative of my age. I need to sort of reset that and be able to run with nomenclature and be able to run with like the vernacular of the generation that I physically appear to be a part of. And so kind of going in, using that as information gathering and going, okay, now I know how to exist as a person in this time at this age. Now I can use this to my advantage.
I just wonder how, like, this couldn't have been the first time that Jen has kind of found themselves in a high position of power within the world. And so I'm just, like, reeling over the Pepe Sylvia-esque shenanigans of, okay, now I've amassed this much power and influence and like prestige. I own this much controlling these companies. Now, how do I get this back in the hands of my next identity? Two
words, bitch. Misty Moore.
Those mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
Dimension 20.
Dimension 20. Continue.
In a show run in Dimension 20 called The Unsleeping City, there is a character called Misty Moore, who is a fae who is constantly reincarnated. Mm-hmm. And so basically what she does is she maintains her wealth, she maintains her assets by essentially deciding her new identity and then naming them as the next of kin before she dies.
That's let's go with the most recent example of the movie Cruella. Technically, when she gets killed, spoilers, at the end, she had already signed over her inheritance over to Cruella DeVille, her new identity. So.
Exact same mentality. And if you think for a second that Jen doesn't have like Emma Stone Cruella vibes.
Oh yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Entirely.
Now
I own it. It's great.
All of that talk really brings me back to the very, very beginning. And I'd like to discuss with each of you about where your character was episode 1, session 0, episode 1, up through our finale. Like the journey that they've gone on, how you see their development from that first session all the way through season 1. What paths did you expect them to take? What paths did they end up taking that surprised you? Or how did you feel about that? Let's start with I want to start with Robin.
Hi. When it comes to Robin's characterization from the very beginning, and progression to where we got by the end of the season, funnily enough, I did end up writing up an entire thing of Robin's view on the entirety of the cast before we went into our first session. I can read that off right now. Not going to take much long. This is why we have this after show live. Hi. And so yeah. So this is Robin's point of view of everything in Crescent Falls in general, since having arrived here a year ago. Robin Wren has grown accustomed to the mundane world over the last year. After coming of age and crossing the moonlit mirror, she went to live with her exiled auntie in Crescent Falls City. Though not as fantastical and fair, a bit warmer than the Winter Court, Crescent Falls City was amazing to her. She thought that only her lord's castle could tower above the trees, but here every building, seemingly everyone, reached for the skies. Robin attends Crescent Falls High, which she thoroughly enjoys. Not at all interested in academia, straight A's and scholarships are worthless in a world of fairy tales. What does captivate her are the people. So many mortals leading lives so utterly foreign to her. Their cares and desires entangled in material possessions, blind to the magic just beyond the mirror. She has her fun with them, stirring petty drama and watching the ensuing chaos unfold. Though there are some that she's wary of. Though most are swept up in temporary tangibles of wealth, some know the true magic of ties. In fairy and the mundane world, there is no greater strength than the bonds that tie everything and everyone together. Robin has seen one person who knows this all too well. Rosalind, the crowned queen of Crescent Falls High. Robin watches as Rosalind commands her clique with all the grace and poise of her lordship. For a moment, Robin suspected Rosalind was also a fae, but she never got that spark from her. Fair or not, Robin was not keen on gaining Rosalind's ire. Still, Robin wonders what chaos would emerge if Rosalind ever fell off her throne. When the final bell rings, Robin steals away to a neon oasis. Downtown in the nightlife district stands an unassuming defunct subway terminal. It's only when the moon rises that it comes to life. The thump of music and dim glow of light escape the downward staircase as a party booms below. Bathed in ultraviolet light and stained with neon paints, crowds of people intoxicated by music and pleasures dance the night away. As dawn arrives, the music dies, people stumble upstairs, left only with vague visions of their midnight mirage. And watching over it all is Lady Mirage herself, Robin's exiled fae auntie. Robin's not the only student from Crescent Falls High drawn to the Midnight Mirage, a gang of juvenile delinquents known to stir up trouble throughout Crescent Falls City has made MM their stomping ground. Wearing leather jackets with slashed backs, they call themselves Ursa Major. They've been nothing but a major pain to Robin since her breakup with the self-elected leader, Mason. Robin never intended for Mason to be anything more than a bit of fun, but her heart had other plans. Mason, however, made it very clear Robin was nothing more than another lay. So, imagine Robin's surprise at Mason's outburst when she refused his advances. While Robin has grown wary of Mason, not all of Ursa members are unsavory. Alongside Mason was a fairly new member, Reese. Robin recognized him from her history class. He's a pretty unassuming guy who always sported a mean scowl. While the rumors say that he's a silent brute, Robin has seen him at nowhere talking his ear off of a park ranger. Despite what others say, Robin thinks he's secretly sweet. And from that, you can kind of glean a lot of the various trajectories that Robin kind of ran on throughout the season. Originally, the plan was for Robin to be somewhat of rivals with with Rosalind, trying to figure out how to poke and prod and unravel the throne of Rosalind from her throne and maybe gain some of that power influence for herself, which was seen in the scenes where Robin, alongside Reese, pestered Alice to get information on Rosalind's girls and started having meetings with Des in order to try and basically ruin Rosalind's life by way of saving Alice from her. The fact that Robin was so inclined to start brushing up shoulders against Reese from the very first episode at the Midnight Mirage to their sudden disappearance and seeing a certain attraction that Robin has towards Reese, as well as the on-again, off-again drama between Robin and Mason. That I honestly thought was going to end up a fair bit more toxic than it did. It seems that with everything going on and Robin losing connections to almost everyone, having come here to save their aunt, rescue them from the mundane world, and risk them back away to the land of fairy, only to find out that they are not someone that Robin can trust, and basically all but disowning one another. And Robin falling back into the hands of Mason, and it actually being good and wholesome. By far, the best and healthiest relationship throughout the entire cast. Who would have thought? So yeah, there's. Go on.
And that was partly intentional. You know, I. As much as we beat on Rosalind as far as like story goes, and I'm sure
it's
we will
fun.
get to that. You know, we needed something that provided a bit of hope, that provided a touch of happiness to this otherwise grueling and intense story. And I think that moment where Robin went in and wanted to reconnect with Mason, I think in that moment it was just, you know what, everything else has just been so tumultuous and turbulent. Why not just let this be a beautiful moment that leads into something better?
Yeah. Like, for as much as Robin covets their like Fae heritage, that one scene was incredibly human, which I guess is the kind of point of Monster Hearts in the first place.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that we'll touch on as well. You know, Monster Hearts at its core is about the human condition, especially as it relates to our teenage selves. You know, those times of adolescence and bodily and emotional and mental changes, and the varying degrees to which we react to those changes, how we handle those changes, and what they do to us. And I think that's what's so relatable about Monster Hearts, and one of the reasons that it's one of my favorite systems and games is just its touches the human psyche and on the nostalgia of, well, shit, I was like that when I was a kid. You know, I relate to the ghost skin or the hollow skin, you know, copying others and wanting to, trying to fit in and erasing my own personality as a result. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. So, yeah, absolutely. And as far as the relationship with Mirage, now that was just a plan of convenience, I think, that when we lost Cal as a cast member, you know, I didn't want to write him out, write Reese out as dead. I thought that was too simplistic. So I had to come up with a reason why Reese disappeared. And I think that it ultimately came down to he got caught up in that like political deal making between Mayor Zhao and Auntie Mirage, because she was exiled for a reason, and that doesn't mean that somebody's not still after her. So she makes a deal with Mayor Zhao, and Reese's new servitude is part of that deal.
Mhm.
So that's just where my mind
And honestly,
things.
it was an amazing play, because even from my own perspective, I saw it a couple of times where they should have reached out to you and like try to figure out why exactly Onsi was exiled. But ultimately, I decided against him. Like, I don't think anyone would tell Robin, and like none of Robin's family, like essentially talking about Mirage was a taboo. And so no one would just openly voice, oh yes, this is why your aunt was literally exiled from our realm of existence. So like, and so discovering the truth behind that, how deep it like that goes, who exactly is after my aunt, and then by like extension, who's might come after Robin as a way of getting to her aunt, even though Robin has basically separated herself from Auntie Mirage. She still, like, it kind of reaffirms that so long as she's alive, so long as you share blood, you will forever tied to them, and so whatever problems they're going to be dealing with are going to be yours. Kind of like dealing, maybe touching a bit on kind of generational and family trauma next season. That'd be fun.
And that really answers my next question: is where do you see that going if and when we do a season 2? Maybe that may become a arc that we pursue, where we find out what's really chasing the Mirage and why she's no longer allowed in Fae.
We already stated that it could be something demon related, because demons are apparently the natural predators of Fae.
I mean, I will make that canon in our world, but I have no idea where that's coming from.
That was literally said by like Robin upon meeting.
Yeah.
Just all right. In truth, it came up because as I saw the cast kind of coming together, I realized, like, I remembered one of the core rules of Monster Hearts to keep the story fair. I'm like, I found that would have been a very good avenue to instill a bit of interpersonal drama within the group, even as things kind of get more solidified, because Robin now knows that Rosalind is in some way or shape demonic, that has some demonic energy, and that can absolutely end up being something that causes dissonance in their relationship going forward, even as they all work together to try and free Jen from the master.
Yeah, which will be another thing that we touch on here in a little bit. But thank you, Clockwork and Robin. Let's turn now to Val, if you are able. Yeah, there you are. Hi.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Okay, so when it comes to Val actually, when Val was created, Val was actually meant to be closer to like a very Loki, Rumpelstiltskin kind of character. Val was supposed to be all about manipulation, talking to everyone, making as many connections as possible, and just pulling strings left and right. That was how Val was supposed to be played, kind of like a secret mafia boss.
And I must say that you definitely played toward that, with your murder board and all the notes that you were taking. You were very meticulous with that, so I commend you on that.
Yeah, but like she didn't end up being like a secret mafia boss. Instead, like very first episode, I'm gonna set myself on fire. Val very much established pure chaos first episode.
Absolutely.
And so Like, I was just like, oh, well, this is Val now, and I have no idea who this person really is. And so at first I thought Val was just pure chaos, but then her chaos found some kind of rhythm. And then as it was finding rhythm, I realized that Val just did chaos so she didn't have to deal with her own thoughts. And as the season came through and we lost Alice, Val was put into a situation where, hey, this is not enough chaos to distract myself anymore. And then Val sees her brother, and now Val is in a situation where Val has to see who she is now, who she wants to be, especially after that conversation with Robin. So, like, Val started off as this pure chaos individual, and it started to build, but Val is now losing her reasoning and trying to find a new one, maybe one without Alice.
Yeah, when we lose people that we've moored our emotional and mental stability on, and that person is lost or removed, we can definitely feel adrift and without guidance or stability. So sometimes we do have to find it for ourselves. Sometimes we can find it in others, but I think the healthiest thing is definitely to find it in ourselves. What did you think about the introduction of Chase?
Chase was just a curveball. Val was definitely in this kind of headspace of what to do about Rosalind and the soul, how Rosalind had Alice's soul. Val was very much ready to do something drastic, even if it meant hurting the group. And then Chase comes along. Chase is scared. Chase is alone, and all Val could really think of is, I can't let this person be alone like I was. And Val is still trying to put that kind of casual chaos as the forefront, but when Chase kind of appeared, Val realized how scared she herself really is, and knew that, hey, this person is also scared, and Val is just kind of establishing her plans, because now that Chase is in the picture, I don't know, something about Chase makes Val want to do better. So for right now, the whole thing with Rosalind has been put on hold, and Val is more seriously thinking about what Robin said to her.
In relation to?
In relation of who you want to be, can use that monster for good, and Val now has a chance to genuinely use that monster for good, not just to save Alice, but to probably make Chase's life better.
That's really beautiful, and it would be beautiful if we could explore that in season 2. Chase, honestly, he was a bit of a curveball that I threw unintentionally. Literally, that was his appearance was completely improvised, and I kind of wanted to see how Val would handle it. And in a way, it touches me as a MC, host, facilitator, GM, whatever, when I can put a character out there and the cast, the players latch onto them, and they become important, and that just makes me feel a little bit more part of the group rather than just the person supervising and guiding.
Well, I'm pretty sure the appearance of Chase made Val more responsible with the gun that she now has.
Yes.
Oh my God, the gun that you blamed me on. You're like, oh yeah, Robin told me to get a gun. Boop. I was like, no, I told you explicitly not to get a gun. Oh God.
Val is very much a facilitator of bad ideas. If you tell Val a bad idea, Val will do it. That's how Val has been doing things the entire time. But Val has started thinking more positively and like, okay, we can't do bad ideas anymore because there's Chase. I can't leave Chase alone.
Val has finally stopped listening to the intrusive thoughts.
Which could be a good thing or an absolutely hard things. The intrusive thoughts might have been the things that's been holding her back.
Well, it is my hope that we will see the development of Val and, Val and Chase's interactions and relationship as in season 2. And that then brings us to Rosalind. Oh, it was coming.
You mean the person that, like, every terrible possible thing happened to? Her? Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's list them out.
Okay.
An itemized list of disagreements.
Damn it! You said it before I could unmute.
Getting quicker than that.
An itemized list of 11 episodes of disagreements.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Let's see. My girlfriend's parents were abusive. I was never good enough for my girlfriend, and yet I tried what I did, and I always prioritized other things in front of her, even though I was trying to work with her and make things better for her, but I didn't do it the right way. My dad set me up with someone thinks that we're getting engaged to be married, which never actually happened. That person is also very controlling, and I wanted to get them out of my life. My
Past tense! Past tense!
One, take two. No ideas.
This is past tense because I'm talking about the past episodes, okay? Then I kind of sort of almost killed my girlfriend. Before that, my dad sacrificed me.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Your dad sacrificed you, your mom.
My mom, my sister.
So your sister got sold into witch slavery?
I
don't know.
Well, not just that,
slavery per se.
Also
witch curse.
The fact that if you've seen I think we mentioned it in the skipped beats episode.
Mm-hmm.
I remember everything now.
Yeah.
Every single thing that I was either blocked out by trauma or that my inner demon succubus self experienced, all of that is now forefront. So I remember the full ritual. I remember what I did to Alice. I remember every single time I did something to Gracie. So yay, I have embraced my demon inner self. Woohoo. At a massive price.
To your mental health.
If our audience members are not patrons of Heroes and Hooligans, then you would not have seen our additional content called Skipping Beats, where we do these short scenes with some of the characters that we don't really need to have in the main show. Instead, we put them apart and then we reference them in the main show. And what we're referring to in this particular one is when Rosalind went home with her trio, and after spilling all the beans on everything that she knew, her and her friends felt it would be best to unite the two halves of Rosalind and draw out the full succubus power that she had inside. And there was a tenuous moment, if I remember correctly, where there was a tug of war between Rosalind's darkest self, the succubus, and Rosalind the mortal. And she almost lost that role. Almost. I had a role for it. She almost lost it, but she pulled through and managed to pull her demon out rather than let her demon pull her in. And it was actually really kind of cool. But
what would have happened had I gotten pulled in? I want to know.
Oh, so many ideas. You may have just been in your darkest self for a while. I would have had to have given it some really good thought about like where you would have gone. Maybe one of your friends might have ended up dead. I don't know.
Oh God, no! I'm so glad that worked out, because that was some intense. Oh,
yeah,
that was intense. Like camping. And that's not even where I was picturing her going. When I started, all this started, I had no like clear plan, other than, well, okay, let's like see how everybody else interacts with the world and like interacts with me, and go from there. And the problems came up so easily, so easily. But yeah, I didn't really have a massive plan for her other than like getting retribution for what her dad did to her.
And that she did, right at the very end of our finale. Spoilers for those watching who haven't seen it. But
welcome to the after show for the finale. If you haven't seen
welcome
the finale,
to the after show. What the fuck? What are you doing here?
But Rosalind essentially ate her father's soul, and is now claiming the Sullivan throne. Now, what kind of shape that throne is going to be in a future season, that remains to be seen, as Rosalind kind of spat in the face of Mayor Zhao and may be subject to his ire.
Wait a sec. No one's saying that he has to be a man of his word. He's a centuries-old vampire, whatevs. But Jen did pay the price to rid all debts for...
That is true. That is true.
I was gonna say, like, we don't know what that throne contains, but I can tell you what it's made of. It's wood, because I own a lumber company.
It's a lumber company.
Oh yeah!
It's a nice oak, man. I tell you what.
That is mahogany.
Yeah.
That is mahogany!
But what is the price worth it? Because now Rosalind now has no family members. Her sister is a witch that's stuck in a house in the woods.
Right? And what was her sister? A princess. The Wicked Witch of the Lumber Company, bro.
Oh my god! But yeah, this is a witch. Dad has been eaten. Mom's a demon.
No, it does bring up an interesting question. What were Rosalind's thoughts on Jen's sacrifice?
I thought it was stupid. Mostly because she's like, I really was starting to like you and trust you, and now you're gonna go do this? Okay. It
Oh,
did.
you would save her.
It did take. There was a moment I considered lashing out physically at the mayor, but I was like, he's gonna kill me. I can't do that. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna hold off. If I want to kill my dad, I gotta hold off. So I reined it in.
Smaller fish first.
Chilled out.
Joe is consistent proof that there is a linear coefficient in between the two variables of fuck around and find out.
Yeah. I was like, no. I know I can take my dad though, so I'm gonna do that first, and then I'll handle you later because, But no, like I made a list on I have a notebook I take notes in, and on the list it says kill list, and it says characters in parentheses just in case for some reason someone gets
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a writer
says
looking up
dad.
how to sink a dead body, that kind of thing.
Yeah, just
Look, hey, as someone who has more than one degree in criminal justice, I'm on some type of watch list because I've Googled how much cocaine can you smuggle into American soil without being flagged. What's the limit here before you're flagged by the DEA?
Yeah,
so I'm on a list somewhere, can confirm this is real. I wish that wasn't a real search that I made, but that is... when you give an example that's specific enough that you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a good grade on the paper.
Got a good paper. It was worth it.
Yeah.
All right.
The
So
price of academia.
final thoughts on your characters, the season, the story.
We do
Final thoughts.
Is this to Rosalind or is this as a whole?
As a whole.
Oh, we haven't done Jen! Okay.
Oh, we talked about Jen in the beginning.
True. Fair enough. But yeah, final thoughts. Oh boy. I don't want these to be my final thoughts on them. I want season 2 to be a thing that happens, so that we can continue to explore this cast of awesome characters, see what else unfolds in Crescent Fall City, see what other amazing fucking things that our dear Mistress Winter throws at us. Thank you! Yes, chat! Season 2!
Kayla living up 2 for 2 in demanding series.
Yes. Yeah. As
Use
for
those channel points, Kayla. Use them.
As for narrative things I want to be seen and explored, find out why Reese is now in the servitude of Faye. What my aunt actually did. If Robin alongside Rosalind and Val would be able to actually save Shanae. See what befalls of the why and the constant struggle between Ursa Major and a city that disowns them. There's so much amazing stories that can be told in Crescent City because it is a campaign setting that feels so completely alive and lived in, and that is due in large part to both the efforts of Winter guiding us through the session zeros and helping all of the cast come together to make a place that we all feel like is a second home to us. And I've loved this experience. I've loved playing alongside all of you. Catherine has as well. And we both cannot wait to continue to do so.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate the compliments, though I firmly attest that this has been a collaborative effort, highly collaborative, because Crescent Falls City was mainly built by all of you. And
Yeah, it's all fine and good. Take your glory.
Take your glory!
Shut up, Winter. Take your glory.
Take it!
Pulling
I'm
a
not
string.
saying that I
No.
didn't have a hand in it. I'm just saying.
Officer pulling the
You
string.
can pull a string on the MC. Oh, yes, you can.
Yes, thank you.
Isn't that specifically a mechanic?
That is
Yes, it is,
exactly what we can do.
Well, you can
It's
pull them
in
on,
the
I can
documents.
pull them on my supporting characters.
Yeah.
Got you there.
Uh,
And who is the greatest support in the MC herself?
I support all of you. 100%.
I will say, in terms of my final thoughts, I have loved playing Jen. Graffitied Hearts has really been kind of a tipping point for a lot of things in my life, where it has given me some of the most important people in my life. It's given me a partner. It's given me a group message with only 2 bodies in it. It's given me a wonderful friendship with you, Winter. And I have loved playing Jen from the moment that I started playing them. And as frustrated as I know the cast is at Jen's sacrifice, it was always the plan of wanting to put Jen in their darkest self and force them to stay there. And one thing that Shadane pointed out was the parallels between Jen and Roz's relationship and Roz and Alice's relationship.
Mm.
That there's a lot of the sentiment of, you don't know what's best for me, stop trying to force my hand. And so now Roz is on the receiving end of that, and I'm very intrigued to see that play out. And I'm intrigued to see how Roz's feelings develop. I'm intrigued to see if Robin chooses to double down on the promise that they made, or if they're going to try to find some way to break it. As we have rewritten Jen's darkest self.
We have.
It is not what is in the playbook anymore.
Ooh.
And it rests entirely on Jen to be able to get out of the darkest self, but Jen cannot get out of the darkest self on their own. They need the support of more than just Robin, but Roz and Val in whatever way they manifest, hopefully not with a gun. But what can you do?
Please, not the gun.
What do you have?
But-
A gun! No!
No!
Jen has been so special to me. And my Wednesday afternoons have become so much more fulfilling and wholesome. And I love being able to sit down with such amazing people and tell a beautiful story. And I love that this all started with Winter and I talking, going, they painted Jen a villain. And that's how we started, and we got to see Jen humanize, and then they finish exactly the way that you all wanted them to be. They're a villain. And my God, do you not want them to be?
No.
So thank you, Winter, for the experience, for allowing yourself to risk Hooli's wrath and casting me as an NPC, because boy howdy am I fucking busy on Heroes and Hooligans. I wouldn't trade a second of it. You have fully changed my life in so many more ways than I can even begin to articulate live on camera. I love you, I love this cast, I love this show. And I cannot wait for season 2.
Well, thank you for all of that. I know it was deeply heartfelt, and I really appreciate that.
I am actively holding back tears. Please know that. I love you that much.
Love all of you. And anything else, Rosalind or Joe, Matt, Amana?
I think, like, I really want season 2 to happen. I definitely want to see what happens to that freaking crazy scientist and see if we can bring my girlfriend back and maybe possibly give her soul back to her. You know, and because she may be fully a succubus and a demon now, but at the same time, she's still she's still Roz. She still loves Alice and feels horribly guilty for it. She knows that if and when she comes back, it's gonna be hell. No pun intended. To try to fix things if Alice wants to fix things. But she at least knows now that her parents are gone. Both of their sets of parents are gone. They don't have to worry about that anymore. She can at least protect her that way. Miss Florence is there. This mad scientist dude is there. And then also see about getting Gracie out. If Gracie wants to even come out at this point, which I know she will, but finding someone to go in and then letting her out so she can live out the last 2 years of her life, even though she's only been gone for a few days at this point. So I really want to see how that plays out. But yeah, I think Rosalind's growth has been interesting. And instead of a demon pantry, it's not a demon pantry, it's a demon home. It's not a demon house, it's a demon home. Now.
Home is where the demons are.
Oh, man.
It's me. So it'll be interesting to see that play out. And the fact that the girls were so into it, they were like, "Yeah, sure, let's do this." I was like,
"Demons take it slow."
So
that the girls were into it. Yeah.
Also, still want to kill that park ranger guy. He's still on my list. Not the younger one, the dad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this is a very minor thing, but I am looking forward to more time skips. You know?
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. And I will admit that both in the private game that I ran prior to putting on Graffitied Hearts and Graffitied Hearts, everything happened within the span of 3 to 5 days, and I don't know how realistic that actually is. I mean, granted, yeah, this is all fiction and fantasy, but yeah, I think you bring up a good point that maybe we need to space these events out just a little bit.
I'm pretty sure everyone, all of these characters are probably exhausted at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how much did Rosalind actually sleep during the last 5 days? You're muted. Do what?
I was 1 away from skirting death.
Yeah,
almost
that's
a full
true.
episode. Because I had just not healed the harm that I had had since the first episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Y'all need to get it together. I'm on Forbes' 30 under 30. I'm fine.
30 under 30,000.
Get the fuck together, kids.
Okay.
Yo. Look, I'm good. I don't sleep. I mean, I'll take naps if you shoot me, but I don't sleep.
I'd say you'd sleep when you're dead, but that's
yeah, that's
literally what I do.
Yeah, talk shit. Talk shit. Go for it. It's fine. Go ahead.
Has gotten plenty of rest. I don't know about you all, plenty of comfortable rest at that, with...
I'm sorry, did you just say comfortable wet rest?
I said comfortable rest. If you heard...
There was a stutter. There was a stutter there.
You're just jealous that I actually have someone in my bed, and you don't. You wish you had wet rest, but you do not, Jen. It's okay. Rosalind will accept you one day. They do not hate
And the after show, I'm done with you.
I'm over now. The episode's going on for 5 more hours. We're here for the long haul.
Yeah, no.
You have work in the morning. You can't do
some
that.
of us actually have work.
Including you, bitch.
Whatever. No, I actually can't. I have a vacation later this month. I can't piss them off.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Any last parting shots? Any last words from our beautiful cast?
Winter, you're amazing. Thank you for running this show. Thank you for running this campaign. Can't wait for season 2. Chat, you're lovely. Fucking be there. Tell your friends. Tell everyone. Make this a
there will be words. There will be words if we don't get a season 2, Winter.
I am gonna be protecting my NPCs because you're a master at causing trauma, and I don't trust you. I don't trust you with Chase, Mason, or whoever else is left.
I wouldn't. Because I was actually just, and I know I'm diverging again, talking in Shanae's after show for Star Bottled, Uncorked, Star Bottled on
Trauma Kink! Trauma Kink!
We were talking about trauma kinks, and I admit that I love stories that have trauma, that can bring out emotion and make me cry. And so if a movie or a book or anything can bring me to tears, it will be in my top 10 for a little bit at least. And will be memorable. So when I write stories or I'm working on campaigns, I want to invoke those same emotions in my audience. And so I would not trust me with characters because I may well do something very terrible to them.
Listen, it's first rule of writing: harm your characters, harm the protagonist, beat the protagonist over the head, make their life hell, because it makes the victories all the sweeter.
And that's why I'm a supporting character, okay?
So a supporting character.
Is this why I'm getting beat
Yes,
up?
that's why you're being beat up. You're the MC. Congratulations. Goodbye.
No, it just happened to you. Yeah.
This season had, if we were to hone in on a focal point of the season, it absolutely would end up kind of being Rosalind, the relationships, because even from Robin's perspective at the very beginning of everything, it's just all right, everybody in this town's fucking oblivious to the actual magic surrounds them, except this bitch, and I am wary of this bitch because if she's a fucking mortal who understands this, that's fucking dangerous a little bit. I'm gonna dethrone her. And so...
And then I turned out to be your natural enemy. Whee!
Confirming my desire to get rid of you a little bit. But you know what? That's gonna be messy.
I'm just saying, Roz, it took less than 3 days for me to get you in my home. We'll see how long it takes to get you in my bed.
Oh, damn! On that note, thank you, everyone!
Just remember that characters do need consent too. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She came to my home willingly.
This is true.
Hands head in defeat.
We will certainly see when we set up season 2, which we are looking at January for. We want to get through all the holiday breaks and everything before we start looking at bringing Graffitied Hearts season 2. So we are just a little bit over time. Sorry, I know I've got that logo in your face. There we go.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Yeah. I'm not that mean.
I can't believe it. I'm in an after show.
All right. Well, I just want to say that this has been a thrilling and exciting ride with all of you. Every week I looked forward to Wednesday and couldn't wait to see what you all brought to the table, what crazy shit I was going to have to swallow and have to come up with some, tie-in and such. from the early episodes when Val is making those like really ridiculous, mind-blowing choices that just threw everything into chaos. And I admit that I absolutely loved every bit of it. I loved being surprised each and every time. To all the trauma that I caused Rosalind, I am so sorry. I am, but I'm not.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
But ultimately, I just adore all of you as a cast. You worked so well together. You told a beautiful story and collaborated and fed off of each other and just made this story what it is, and maybe even what it will be. So thank you all for this amazing experience. Thank you all for thank you to our audience who may have caught an episode or two. I had a few fans that absolutely shared every single one of my episodes. So thank you so much. And I really hope that you will all return for season 2. Just keep following myself, G Mistress Winter, on Twitter. And I will keep you all updated as to when we are going to be having our season 2 set up. Until then, I hope that you will come back around to Heroes and Hooligans and check out some of their other awesome shows like Star Bottled on Sundays, and they've got shows every day of the week just about when they're all running. Some of them are on break currently. But join the Heroes and Hooligans community. Follow me and the wonderful cast on Twitter and in the Heroes and Hooligans community to see what other projects we're working on. And I can't wait to see you all again. Thank you again from the deepest bottom of my heart to all of your beautiful hearts. Thank you and good night.